The ongoing legal confrontation between President Donald Trump and New York Attorney General Letitia James has evolved from a series of high-profile civil actions into a defining political and legal saga, culminating in new indictments that have intensified the debate over the weaponization of the justice system. The article likely examines how these legal maneuvers, spearheaded by the state's chief law enforcement officer, are being framed by the defense as nothing less than politically motivated retribution, fundamentally transforming a legal process into a political battleground. This narrative pivot is crucial. It shifts the public discourse away from the merits of the allegations, such as financial fraud or business misconduct, and toward the intent of the prosecutor. For the Trump base and his political allies, every action taken by the New York Attorney General's office is filtered through the lens of political vindictiveness. They cite James's past campaign promises, where she vowed to investigate Trump, as irrefutable evidence that her current efforts are an exercise in satisfying a political grudge rather than upholding the law. The legal fees, the personal stakes, and the sheer volume of investigations contribute to a powerful, rallying cry that the former president is the victim of a coordinated, systemic effort by his political opponents to cripple him financially and personally. This framing solidifies a sense of loyalty among his supporters, who view the legal system as being used as an anti-democratic tool designed to interfere with his political aspirations, lending significant emotional weight to the charge of retribution and allowing the defense to successfully delegitimize the proceedings in the court of public opinion. Conversely, proponents of the indictments, including Attorney General James and her allies, firmly reject the retribution narrative, positioning the legal actions as a necessary affirmation of the rule of law. For them, the principle is simple. No individual, regardless of their political power or past office, is above accountability. The focus remains strictly on the documented evidence of alleged misconduct, financial misstatements, or corporate fraud. From this perspective, the former president's counter-narrative of victimhood and political persecution is a calculated strategy to muddy the waters and evade responsibility. James's office argues that had the defendant been anyone else, the legal process would be viewed without political fanfare. They contend that asserting retribution is a desperate, cynical attempt to shield alleged wrongdoing from appropriate legal scrutiny, demonstrating a fundamental difference in how the efficacy and integrity of the justice system are viewed across the political spectrum. The consequence of this highly charged environment, where legal indictments are intrinsically linked to political warfare, is a profound and perhaps lasting erosion of public trust in core institutions. As the cycle of legal action and retaliatory rhetoric continues, the American public is increasingly forced to choose sides, viewing judicial outcomes not as matters of fact and law, but as wins or losses in a zero-sum political game. The specter of retribution, whether perceived or real, haunts the process, raising fundamental questions about the future stability of the justice system, and establishing a dangerous precedent where succeeding political administrations might inherit a mandate not just to govern, but to prosecute their predecessors. The ultimate script, therefore, is one of institutional strain, where the scales of justice are perpetually tilted by the immense weight of partisan animosity and the high-stakes personal rivalry between these two powerful figures.